the key point here is stay in power, maintaining power. Anybody can gain power through violence, but how do you keep a hold of this power once you've gotten it? The peoples in ancient Mesopotamia, where Hammurabi came to power, had a word for men in power, and they called them lugals, big men. And I think that's really significant. It means these are guys who get power by throwing their weight around. But they're not guys who necessarily can keep that power. And if we look at the histories of ancient Mesopotamian city-states, for example, what we see are a succession of short-lived dynasties that manage to hold on to power for a generation or two, before they're thrust out by another dynasty. So what makes Hammurabi different around about 1800 BCE, when he comes to power in Babylon, is that he uses techniques which we associate with authority. So I want to make a distinction here between power and legitimate power. And the word legitimate comes from the word for law. Hammurabi quite famously produces a law code, which we still read today. It's the oldest surviving law code. It's probably not the oldest set of laws from ancient Mesopotamia, but it's the one that survives. Hammurabi uses writing, diplomacy, law, to govern his people, and he actually manages to put together an empire through these means. He puts together an empire which, with a few fits and starts, manages to last for a couple of hundred years. So power has to be something that can actually outlive the person who acquires it. If you cannot pass your power down to somebody, then it's really no good. So the pharaohs of Egypt are a wonderful example of this. The word pharaoh, in fact, doesn't mean king or even ruler. It means household. So what it suggests is that the power of Pharaoh is vested not in the individual person, man or woman, because there were female pharaohs, but it's vested in the whole apparatus of government that surrounds the Pharaoh. And so what matters is not just the person of the Pharaoh, but all of this apparatus around him or her. And that means that the pharaonic office can itself survive for almost 3,000 years, and it can survive two intermediate periods of warfare or famine. It can survive even a fantastic change of dynasty in the 4th century when the pharaohs of Egypt become Macedonian Greeks. It can even survive becoming a part of the Roman Empire. So it's this longevity of the political institution which is important. So again, the violent acquisition of power is one thing, but this capacity to maintain it through stable, legitimate institutions is what makes an empire possible.